with with academicians and with industrial leaders. So today to talk on CV preparations and tips and trips for interview, we have with us Miss Richa Goyal. So she'll be taking our class for our people, and we have actually opened this for the guests also. So we have a lot of people with us today to join this. So I will just introduce Miss Richa Goyal. So Ms. Risha Goyal is principal of health economics and oriented research, and HEOR IQVIA. She has 14 years of experience in HEOR and leads the scientific literature review team in IQVIA. She has an extensive experience on various systematic reviews and meta-analysis projects. She has more than 40 scientific publications, including book chapters, to her credit. She has done masters in pharmacy, pharmacology, and currently pursuing MBA in business management and a PhD scholar in clinical research management. She has been a speaker at various national and international conferences, including ISPR India, and she is the head of ISPR Mumbai chapter as well, OPPI, ISCR, and IPEC, IPS, and Pharmacocray, and she is also she has also delivered multiple talks at Canvas of Clinical Pharmacology Workshop and Distiller 2020 Week, and other institutes like KEM, Jamia, TISS, BITS, and BCP. She is also a part of executive committee for healthcare, Business Women's Association (HBA) for 2021. Apart from this, she is a YouTuber and posts motivational content across social media, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. I am following her. She is putting on a daily basis. She puts a lot of content
Thank
and
you, Dr. Ji.
very informative content and very inspiring content actually. And she has been supporting student groups like Crisit and Ostello India at BITS through her sessions. So thank you very much, Ms. Richa, to accept our request and to address our people here for the specific session under leadership dialogues. Thank you very much, and you're welcome to our summer school.
Thank you, Dr. Ajit, for the humble welcome. And I think from the next time onwards, I'll keep the intro a bit short. I think I give too much of the lines to speak. No, I will for sure do this. So, first of all, thank you everyone for taking time out on a Sunday afternoon, evening, I would say. So it really means a lot. I know many of us like watching, like spending a Sunday either with Netflix or Amazon Prime. I know people today, or maybe reading something. So today, let's make the best use out of the Sunday afternoon. We have blocked around 30 to 45 minutes of yours. In this, I'm going to talk about some various tips and techniques. How do we make our CV? And some of the common techniques how to crack a particular interview. From my little experience that I have of giving interviews and taking interviews, I'll be kind of sharing some of the practical examples which I have put in the form of a presentation. So Dr. Ajit, now I would like to present my screen, and once it comes, if you can confirm that you're able to see it.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Please let me know.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
Yes.
No problem. Let's do the full screen mode.
Yes, it is.
So today in the agenda, what we'll cover about us that Dr. Ajit has already spoken about. Just 1 to 2 things I would like to highlight through my small journey so far. Various career options that are available for pharma students, interview skills and CV, and some of the tips and techniques I have covered on effective communication as well. My journey so far has been a kind of a learner. So to all of us and all the students, I would like to give a message like the professional journey or the educational journey that we go through is full of ups and downs, right? So, I prepared for my PMT examination for my pre-medical entrance and I could not crack it. And coming from a family of doctors, it became a kind of a challenging task for me and my parents to decide what next. When I entered B Pharmacy back in 2001, there was not much knowledge about this kind of a work stream. What kind of subjects would be there? Will there be any future? The only things that were known for after masters in pharmacy is either you open a chemist shop or you become a teacher. no offense to anyone, but of course, not many career and academic options were known. So I just kind of ventured into this unknown journey. And the only message that I have for all of us is never ever stop learning. I also had a career break of around 3 months, right? Why? Because from a city called Chandigarh, I shifted to a city called Mumbai. Right. So I got married, and of course that's in itself a beautiful journey. And my husband got an opportunity with a company in Mumbai. So for 3 months here, I kind of struggled in getting a job, but everything in the end falls into place. So never ever give up, and never think whatever you have acquired in your career in terms of education, learning, and skills, it is enough. No journey is never ever enough. Just keep on learning, taking certifications, growing, and just sharpening your skills. Okay. Let's quickly see some of the career options that are available in pharma sector. Although I might have missed a few, but I have tried to put to the best of my knowledge. So career options can be in KPO. What is a KPO? KPO is a knowledge processing outsourcing company. Right. In KPO, we have options like either you can go in consulting part, you can go in competitive intelligence, HUR, that's health economics and outcomes research. That's the part of the business that I come from. PV, that's pharmacovigilance. Then nowadays, there's a lot of boom in AI and ML. And I know many of the people whom I interview, they are doing certain courses on AI and ML. Yes, it has applicability. Of course, these kind of skills are preferred. But my only humble request to all the students is do not spend lots and lots of money on these courses. Okay. Many of the skills can be acquired when you are doing a job. So I started doing my first job when I had completed my master's in pharmacy. I was picked up through campus placement. Right. I have acquired the certification through my working career. In fact, my MBA, so now currently I'm in the final semester of my MBA. In fact, my exams are ongoing. Today morning also I had one exam. So all these kinds of education experience can be gained, the additional one, while you are working. Okay, this helps you while you're working. If you gain certain skills, it helps you in many ways. It keeps you abreast of all the latest happenings. You kind of have an exposure where you can choose for yourself which kind of education inspires you, whether it's an MBA, it's a PhD, it's none of the above, whether it's digital health, artificial intelligence, what you want to do. Another advantage of studying while working is you can financially support yourself. You do not have to rely on your parents or anyone else to fund for your education. So, after completing the basic, like I did my master's, then I chose to do various other certifications and I was able to fund that. Okay. Then there are various CROs which work in the space of clinical trials, real world evidence. Government and private sectors, some of my friends have given the exam and have become drug inspectors, or by acquiring the pharmacy license, they have opened the pharmacist shop, or they are practicing pharmacists in various hospitals as well. Then people can join core pharmas. By core pharmas, what we mean? We mean the top pharma companies like Novartis, Abbott, Merck, GSK, so on and so forth. So these have various departments like R&D, medical affairs, pharma commercial, business development, and many more others. There are many therapeutic area special departments as well. Then, of course, academic option is a very, very respectable job, and I have lots and lots of respect for all the teachers. So teaching and research is something that a pharma person can pursue. So these are, in a nutshell, some of the career options a pharma person can choose. Coming to job application. So whenever you see any job application, nowadays there are various portals on which job application comes, right? And we are going to see some of them in the upcoming slide. Before you see a particular kind of a job application, just think for a moment and ask yourself, why should I apply? What benefit will it give to my professional career and my personal goals as well? Okay, so since all of you are students till now, so what I would suggest you all, make a kind of a journal. Have the habit of writing in a diary or in an email, and just try to map out what are your goals. Goals can be short term, goals can be long term. Goals doesn't mean ये मुझे अभी करना है. No, just break down your goal into small milestones and celebrate those achievements. Okay, this I have learned through my career, that do not wait for the entire goal to be completed. You can break it down into small milestones and then you can celebrate those wins. So coming back to the question, why should I apply? So whenever you see a job application, just see that if it matches your goal. Is it something you want to do, or is it something कि कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है तो जो मिल रहा है वो कर लेते हैं? No, that should not be the case. And the best part is, if you get into a job which you like, right? So that when somebody talks to you, that kind of enthusiasm should appear in the talk, right? Just ask yourself, is this something that I really want to do? As a fresher, you can have a question for me like, I don't have an option. So that's okay. Since you are in the very early stage of your career, you can explore, right? You can learn different things and you can explore. Have a clear understanding of the job profile. When I read a job profile coming at my level, I try to match it with my skills. What is the gap? How much should the bridging be done? Do I know all these skills? Or is there an opportunity for me to learn when I go into that job? Ask yourself those kinds of questions. Have a clear understanding of job profile. Do not follow the herd. मेरा friend वो कर रहा है, मुझे भी वही करना है. That might be his aspirations. That might not be yours. Okay, so do not follow the herd. And a very kind of I would say lucrative thing, do not jump only for money. I know this sounds, I mean, every one of us have different connotations of money or achievements in his or her mind. But do not jump or change job or switch jobs very in a matter of, let's say, 1 year, 6 months or 2 years just because of money. Learn something. If you are truly satisfied with the kind of learning that you are getting, please learn. Focus on learning. Believe me, money will follow. Eventually, it will. How to apply? So these days, it has become really very easy. There are a lot of forums and portals where you can go and apply for the jobs, right? Can all of you see my screen?
Yes, it is visible. Yes, it is
okay.
visible.
I just received a pop-up, so I thought it's not visible. Okay.
No, it's
so thank you so much. Thank you for confirming. So how to apply? So these days, there are various options that you can go through and you can apply. There are various portals. First of all, build your brand. Nowadays, I see a lot of BPharm students building their LinkedIn profile. They are continuously active on it. They reach out to people, right? And I really like and admire the confidence with which they reach out. So build your brand. Reach out and communicate. Try sending messages, try posting comments on somebody's post. So this ways you come into the notice of somebody, and also you kind of make your network. Attend workshops and seminars. Again, as I said, do not spend too much money, but create your visibility. Build your connection. Use different job portals, LinkedIn, Naukri, Monster, and keep on updating your CV. Then, of course, there is a best chance called as campus placements, through which I also got placed in my first job. If your college has that kind of arrangement, please go through it. Then there are placement drives by various companies. I know many of the giants like TCS and all, they conduct placement drives, kind of walk-in drives. I think they choose one day, and then on that day for a particular profile they interview. Just keep an eye and keep your eyes and ears open for these kinds of profiles. Internal reference, right? Internal reference helps and matters a lot. So if you know somebody in a particular company and you want to reach out, okay, write messages, write LinkedIn message or Gmail to those people. So one tip that I want to give you, when you are writing or messaging somebody, please clearly state what kind of job profile you are looking at. I'll tell you from my experience, I receive certain messages like, ma'am, is there any opening in your company? See, IQVIA is a company with 70,000 employees and it has various different teams as well. So until unless you tell what your interest is and what you want to do, people like us will not be able to refer. Okay, so please help us that way. What is that you want to do? Which team you want to go in? Or is there any profile which you have come across on social media where we can refer? Okay.
Miss Risha, can you please, okay, your slides are coming to me, but many people are not able to see. What's the problem, guys? Can you pin that? You pin the presentation, okay? It will come. It is visible to many, but many are complaining it is not visible. You guys can just pin that presentation, so it will come to your screen. Okay, it is coming actually. Yes, yes, you can full screen, ma'am, and go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Dr.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so what happens is, so when you give an interview to a place, right? So there are various rounds of interviews that happen. There can be telephonic round, there can be assessment, and there can be a final round, generally a face-to-face round. So some of the tips and techniques to crack those interviews and what comes in through, or what is the expectation from the interviewer. Okay, let us look at it one by one. Let us spend 5 minutes in looking what are the various interview rounds and how you can crack them. So first of all, I would say in a company, firstly the HR contacts you, right? Then there can be either an assessment or a telephonic round depending on the role requirement. Okay, so some of the common things when we are doing the assessment is, firstly, please do the assessment by yourself. One common mistake that I have recently caught is I gave a report writing to one person. I gave 2 different reports, and all of us have a particular style of writing, right? So when I
You are on mute, ma'am.
Okay. Guys, can you, okay, I think there is a problem with presentation, right? Sharing the presentation. Can you please try once more? Ma'am, can you please try it again? Can you please stop sharing and share it again? You are on mute, Ms. Richa, you are on mute.
actually somebody muted me from the group, so I got the notification also. Yeah.
Guys,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So no worries.
Otherwise, I have to unmute. Otherwise, I have to mute everyone. So please don't just, yeah.
Can I
Yeah,
share the slides again,
yes,
Dr.
please.
Ji?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Please let me know if my slides are visible and I am audible.
You are audible and your slides are visible now. Yes.
Yeah, it says like it's visible to everyone. Okay.
Yes, great.
So we were discussing about the assessments and the problem that we see when we see the assessment. So I was talking about the recent experience that I had. So what happened was I gave the assessment of 2 different reports to somebody, and all of us have a particular writing style, right? So when I was reviewing the report, it was very evident that both the reports have been written by different people. So ऐसा मत सोचिए कि इंटरव्यू को पता नहीं चलेगा, किसी से भी लिखवा के दे देते हैं. No, we come to know. We do come to know, right? And Dr. Ajit, it was very much evident. I mean, I could make out because every one of us have a different writing style, right? So when we write the report, we kind of repeat those kind of style guides, right? When we are writing another report. So it was all in all 2 different, one sky and earth kind of a difference was there in both the reports. Okay. So yeah. So another thing, when you are doing an assessment and if you think that you need more time, please ask the company. No one judges you on that. ऐसा नहीं होता, like if the company has given me 5 days and I'm not able to complete the assessment, maybe due to personal or professional commitments, go ahead and ask, right? Generally, all the companies ask about your availability. In case there are any queries in the assessment, please go and ask. Next thing, the assessments should be in a presentable format. For that, you have to have a basic understanding of Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, because majority of the deliverables of assessment go in these forms. And please make the assessment in a presentable format. The best QC I suggest to all is the self QC. Whatever you write, before sending the clicking on the send button, just read that thing again, what you have written. And again, believe me, use the simple language, do not use much of technical jargons. And if you can't understand your presentation, believe me, no one else would. So you are the best judge of yourself. Telephonic round. So in that round, always be in a range, in a range of with good connectivity. With all of us working from home, we have certain corners in the house where the signal is very good, and certain corners in the house where the signal is very bad, and all of us are aware about it, right? So please be in a range where you are audible. Use headphones, cut down the background noise, and ask the interviewer to repeat the question in case you are not able to understand. At my level also, I ask, whenever I give an interview, I ask the interviewer to repeat the question again in case I have not understood. Ask questions. We have a cultural mindset here that we kind of refrain from asking questions. So no question is big or small. Ask questions. Final round, face to face. Now, how does it happen? Through Zoom meeting, Google Meet, Teams, right? So now there's no luxury of calling the person to office, and it's in a good way. I consider it as an opportunity, because I am myself able to hire so many people from remote locations in India, people who were not ready to relocate due to some of the personal commitments. So I think the pandemic has given me an opportunity to hire good talent from pan India. But few things, dress up in a neat and clean way. Yes, it does matter. You are giving a final face-to-face interview, and it's the interview time, right? Check internet connectivity. There should be no disturbance in the surrounding. Keep your camera on and check your mic. Okay, ask questions, and the company that you are about to give the interview, just go to Google, read on Wikipedia, spend 15 minutes, and usse zyada na nobody will ask you. But at least you should have a basic knowledge about the company. For example, if you are giving an interview to Pfizer or Novartis, no one might want to ask you to list down the whole products. But if you have studied about the company profile, it adds to your confidence. And it shows in your body language when you are giving the interview. Some of the technical skills that we look at, right, when we hire people. So there are two categories of people, freshers and laterals. Who are laterals? Laterals are people जिनको थोड़ा सा experience होता है. Some of the things that we ask from freshers are subject knowledge, what you are studying. Okay, so I'll share one story with you. I started my career in HUR in 2007. At that time, HUR was very new in India. There were many kind of questions that were asked to me in my interview round. I was given a manuscript. I was asked to summarize that. Fair enough. Pharmacology student, well and good. I could do that. Some of the graphs and figures I had to make using Excel. Fair enough. I could do that. Then the game started. The first question that was asked to me was, what is ITT population? ITT is intent to treat population. And I had no answer to that. At that time, HUR was very new. Okay. So, and I honestly gave an answer that I don't know. So another tip, instead of playing around the words, okay, and making up answers of your own, if you don't know the answer to a particular question, say you don't. Okay. And generally, your project skills, the project that you are working on, those kinds of questions are asked if you are a fresher. MS Office skills are judged, and any additional course or certification that you have done, of course, it carries a weightage. For laterals, SME, that's a subject matter expertise skill. क्या करके आए हो और क्या करना चाहते हो? The skill that you are bringing on the table, that is judged. Of course, here also additional courses and qualifications. What is the operational knowledge you have? For example, if you are 5 to 7 years experience and you have certain experience in people management, those kinds of skills are also assessed. Simple sa question, do you know how to do conflict management? Or have you ever been a part of appraisal discussions? How have you handled any kind of difficult conversations? So these softer aspects are also judged. Then, of course, business acumen or financial data, in case you are part of that thing and you are at that level. So the kind of questions that are asked from campus freshers or laterals, they are entirely different. Of course, the way you communicate, it matters, kind of common thing in both. But generally, no one expects you to be a master of all the skills when you are at a fresher level. Okay, coming to soft skills. So I'm using this word soft skills. So क्या होती हैं? How do you define soft skills? It means communication, verbal, written, conflict management. You're managing two people and they do not agree on a project. How do you manage them? Team management. If you are given a team of say 5, 10, 20, 30 people, what strategies are there to manage them? How do you manage a client presentation? How do you crack it? Strategic thinking and out of the box ideas. So these are certain soft skills that come into picture. How do you learn these kind of soft skills? So how I learn, so there are 2-3 ways. One, I follow 2-3 very good motivational speakers. Okay, for example, I follow Michelle Obama as well. Okay, and whenever I listen to her YouTube talks, I just see her body language, how she's presenting, how she's carrying herself. So your soft skills now, you tend to acquire them through observation. The observational skill is the forte of learning things. Okay, then there are other motivational speakers like Simon Sinek, whom I follow. Okay, and I try and learn from them. Then try reading some books. Nowadays, option of audio books is also there, right? And there are certain trainings which each and every company provides. They have a learning and development department. Okay, you can maybe make use of those once you join a corporate. Commonly asked soft skills questions. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Just try and keep these kinds of questions in your back pocket. It helps in your confidence. Give an example of the challenging project you have handled and how did you manage the situation. And another one is, how do you manage conflicts? If you have had a team managing in your prior job, then this is the best question of the interviewer. Favorite one, how do you manage conflicts or how do you manage the team? Okay. Now, let's talk about CV. First of all, it's CV, a resume. It's not biodata. Okay, I know nowadays nobody calls it that word biodata, but it's not a biodata. Okay, in professional world, it is a CV or a resume. Making a CV is an ongoing process. As you learn the skills, you evolve. जैसे जैसे आप और सीखते हैं और experience होता है, those things you kind of add in your CV. Okay, but there are certain sections in your CV, those are must. First of all, you should have a kind of a profile summary. What is your current experience? A summary of your past experience. So what I try to do is the major focus in my CV is the profile summary, a paragraph on that, and what is it in my current job that I'm doing. If I've had 3-4 job experiences in the past, I try to give a short summary. Maybe my title, my role title, and the duration, and the key responsibilities. Any list of conferences that you have attended, publications. One thing I forgot to mention here: any kind of awards that you have won either in your academic or your professional career. Personal details, date of birth, address, contact details. Contact details is a must, and please give the correct information. Many a times we have tried reaching out candidates, या तो phone number change हो जाता है, या phone मिलता नहीं है, या वो कोई wrong number होता है. So please try and give the contact details to the best of your ability. Otherwise, you might lose some of the very golden opportunities coming your way. References, optional. This can be an option. Okay. And of course, please remember, CV is a kind of an ongoing activity. कैसे ढूंढना है? On LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, there are many good CVs. Some examples are given. Just refer to 3 of them, okay, and then make your CV. Take time to build your CV, and do not circulate the same CV for all the jobs. Just first read the job description, the kind of job that you're applying, and try to add some of that in the at least the summary part of your CV. That's the first paragraph. Common mistakes in a CV. Your first, suppose tomorrow if any one of you reaches out, let's say in a company, what will be your first point of contact to that company? It will not be you. It will be your CV. Your CV will tell the story, right? That's the first point of contact that we will have. Okay. So there are some of the common mistakes in CV. Spelling error. Yes. Bhar bhar ke. Please avoid. Font size starts with Arial 10, ends with Calibri 12. Very common mistake. Too much of information or putting wrong information. A brief summary is missing. So try to have a kind of a brief summary paragraph. Okay, mentioning confidential information. A very, common thing that I see in somebody's CV is, for example, you're working with a pharma company, right? Or you're working in a consulting company, a boutique firm, and there you get exposed to various client projects. So many people, what they do is in their CV, they mention all the various companies they have worked with, even the name of the projects that they have been a part of. Okay, try to refrain from these kinds of information whenever to be published in your CV. Whenever in your interview you are talking about that, please do not take the company name or try not to spill any kind of confidential data. A current company with which you are employed has a certain kind of confidence in you, which the next company also wants. Okay, so maintain that. Do not spill these kinds of details. Overcommitment. There's a saying in Hindi. Again, I'm using "Ranga hua siyar chupta nahi hai." So commit in your CV as much as you know, because once you are in a job, you are on your own. Okay, it's okay to express your interest to learn, or if you know any basic information that you can give. But if you overcommit about any skill, what happens if the first day of your job, your manager gives you the task on that project only, and you'll have no one to help you? Okay, so never ever overcommit in your skill. Again, to everyone, I have this message like invest in yourself. Read whenever possible, learn new skills, develop a hobby. It will keep you stress free. Maintain a journal. I have said this in my previous sessions also. If you do not like writing, just try reading your emails which you had written 2 years, 5 years, or 10 years down the line, and you will actually laugh at the way you used to write. I know I might laugh again when I read my emails which I write now, 5 years down the line. Okay, that helps in self-evaluation. Rehearse before any important meeting, interview, or any of your appearance. Focus on your physical and mental health. In this pandemic, I know we have been in our house since last almost 1.5 years, and most of us have ended up gaining some weight. So try to lose it out and focus on your physical and mental health. And a very important tip, since you all will enter your professional career, always introduce yourself before a meeting. Okay, say your name. I am so and so, and I have this question. Right? I know we have less time, so we'll quickly cover the 7 C's of effective communication, since you all will be joining the professional world soon. Completeness, whether it's written or vocal, always complete your thought. Another person will not assume. Please do not assume that other person will understand. Please be considerate of everyone's feelings and opinion. The thing that you are writing, if in your thesis, it should be concrete. There should be an evidence behind the same. Facts should be correct. Cross-check the reference. Should be concise. If you suppose if I have to present to a senior leadership, I cannot carry 20 slides, right? I have to explain what I'm trying to say, my message in 1 slide or 2 slides, because they'll have maximum of 5 to 15 minutes for me. So try learning those skills. Clarity. You should be very clear in your thoughts, and as I said, read the sentence that you have written. If you can understand, everyone else will. Courtesy, whether it's verbal or written, treat everyone with respect. Clarity, accuracy, fluidity, attention to detail. As we discussed before, thoughts should be clear, facts should be accurate, a clear and logical flow. For example, when you write a manuscript, there are various sections: introduction, methods, results, and discussion. How will it look if I include the methods in the results section or the discussion section? Inappropriate, right? So maintain a logical flow of your thoughts as well. ATD errors. I think we have spoken enough about it. Try to refrain from doing ATD, attention to detail errors. Spell check before submitting any document. 100% zoom. Read the email again. Read it again. If you're stuck at some place, take help of a colleague or a friend to get that email at least proofread by them. And again, proofread, a very, very important thing, since many of you must be submitting your thesis as well. Avoid using these ATD errors in your both the professional life as well as your academic career. With this, I would say thank you so much. And again, all the best to you all. And building a CV, again, it's an ongoing task which has to evolve as you grow in your professional career. And Dr. Ajit, I'm open to questions.
Yes, thank you very much. So I have one very important question. Actually, few of the students even asked before. So what should be the, proper email writing? How they should look into the proper email writing? What should be the content, and how they should frame the emails when they are communicating with any company, or, for the interviews or for applying, to jobs?
Okay. सबसे पहले Dr. Ajit, subject line. Okay. So if you think that there is suppose a person is applying for research associate position. Okay. Then in the subject line, it should be mentioned in reference to the position of research associate. Okay. Because many times people don't read because it appears to them it might be a spam email because it comes from people whom we don't know. Okay, so we have to be very, very clear about the subject line. So in reference to the job ID this, or in reference to the position of research associate. Then of course, starting the email with the greetings, and then in the subject line, please start with this, like that you came across, that person has come across this kind of an opening, and a brief, a summary, a paragraph is also required of what the person brings on the table. Okay. And attach your CV, and then of course please we can conclude like by saying looking forward to hearing from you, and then regards. Okay, and after a week or so, if you don't hear back, person can follow up, but give at least a week's time, because sometimes what happens is people like me also, we have to try and find out if the vacancy is open, if the CV fits. Please do not send the CV like, please find attached my CV for any suitable opening in your company. Then people generally don't open it, Dr. Ajit, because, if there is no relevant position specified, then we are also kind of lost. Like, how can we help the person?
How can we help with this? Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Ajit.
That's great. So guys, you can now, write your answers, or you can speak to Ms. Richa. Okay, there are some questions, I think, in chat box, Ms. Richa.
Let me see, let me open.
Yes, Sanjayan and Raghav Sharma. Okay.
Sanjayan, which course apart from my subject will give weightage in interview? Okay, so this actually depends on what do you want to do. You want to become a programmer, let's say, then of course SAS programming will help you. Yes. If you want to do systematic review and meta-analysis, a basic course on network meta-analysis would help. So what do you aspire? So if you want to become a technical or a non-technical person, so that kind of course definitely helps. But again, I'm repeating, try not to spend too much of money, and try to have on-job trainings and certifications. Both should go hand in hand. Okay?
Correct.
Raghav says, is AI and ML are suitable for students BPharm with no technical background? Yes, it is useful, Raghav. Yes. It depends on your interest. So see, a person, so AI and ML, of course, these also include some kinds of programming skills like R and Python, right? Yes. That you should be well versed with, right? So if you have your interest towards those, then definitely go ahead and learn. Okay, and it depends what do you want, again, on what do you want to become. See, at my level, it's good for me to have AI and ML knowledge because I am doing some kind of innovations with my work. Okay, but if you're a fresher and you want to make your career out of it, then of course it's a highly recommended,
Correct.
right?
Definitely.
uh, Reference section in CV. Okay, so reference section means if you know somebody in your company, like for example, if I have to refer my, so reference means for my background check, if the company has to reach out to somebody whom it should be. For example, if let's say I have very good terms with Dr. Ajit and he knows me, maybe I can put his name in my CV. Like
Yeah.
for my background verification, reach out to Dr. Ajit. Or if I have very good terms with the VP of my company, let's say I may put her name.
Correct.
Okay, these are the reference. This I mean by the reference section. How
Exactly.
important it is and what format do we follow? See, there are various multiple formats depending on the style that you are comfortable with. Go with, but it should be neat, it should be crisp, and it should be uniform. As I said, it should not start with Arial and end with Calibri. Please avoid that.
Yes, exactly.
Is attending virtual industrial training and course really beneficial to it? Of course it is. Of course, if it involves a kind of certification and you have attended, it is. Nowadays, it's a virtual world. And again, I would like to share another advantage of pandemic is you can learn from anyone sitting at your place across the globe.
Across the globe.
Mm, yeah. So when I started 2 years back my MBA from NIMS, it's an online course. Many people used to laugh at me also. Richa, kya kar legi? Online course hai. Nobody knew. After 1 year, everything will become online.
No, seriously, one example I want to give here. My friends, they have started academic business and, like business MBA from Harvard online.
Yes,
They are spending 16 to 18 lakhs just to attend online courses.
yes,
People will think like, why you guys spending 5,000, 10,000? They are attending online courses from Harvard, spending 18 lakhs.
yeah,
Because it
yes.
works, because nowadays, it is a virtual world, definitely.
It's a virtual world. It's a
Yes.
virtual. But Dr. Ajit, I see it is an opportunity for many of us, right? Especially the students. Okay, because you can get guidance
Yes.
from anyone. You can make anyone your mentor across the globe, right?
Correct.
You don't have to wait कि वहाँ जाएं कैसे करें. And
So,
one, yes, Dr. Ajit.
no, please go ahead. No, I'm
No,
listening
no,
to you.
I'm just saying that in my professional life, I have been fortunate enough to visit Oxford and Cambridge both. So I've seen both, right? So वहाँ जाके ना, I had this craving, like I wish I could go back in time and I could study from here. But the virtual world has made us shrink into something where we can learn from anyone, anywhere,
True.
right? So yeah. Okay,
Yes.
so face-to-face interview, what are the key points we need to keep in mind while introducing ourselves? So in a face-to-face interview, so generally a face-to-face interview happens, it is kind of a last interview round, okay, and it generally happens with somebody senior. Your technical round is done, your assessment is done, then only you are at that stage. Okay. So if a person like me is interviewing you for a face-to-face, the first thing I would like to notice is how are you communicating? If I throw any strategic or problem-solving question at you, how do you solve it? And of course, I would like to have a complete introduction of the person. Nowadays, people like me also ask, what do you do in your free time? By that, Dr. Ajit, we try to find out what the person actually does, what are the
True.
ambitions of the person. Is the
True.
person only taking this opportunity as a kind of a stepping stone? और थोड़े दिन में भाग जाएगा. So these are the skills
No.
that we judge. And please dress up and be neat and clean. Consider it as a kind of an interview you are going to a company and giving.
So today,
Okay.
I had around 80 interviews for internship in our CleMed. So my final question to all of them was, how did you spend your lockdown? you know.
Yes, exactly, Dr. Ajit. I also asked similar kind of questions. What do
Yes.
you do?
Yeah.
Is there any hobby you acquired? What were the challenges that you faced during the lockdown? Right.
By
So,
these questions, you come to know about the person who is going to join you. Okay.
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So one very question is there about cover letters, ma'am.
Huh.
I just wanted to know the importance of cover letter and its, what are the important contents of cover letter?
A brief summary of what you do and a brief summary of what do you want to do. Okay, a brief summary of what you do is from the CV. A brief summary, what do you want to do, is the hint in the job description. So amalgamate those and write a small paragraph and present it. That's the tip I can give you. दोनों आंसर आपके पास हैं. जो आप कर रहे हो वो आपके CV में है. जो चाहते हो job description से है. Just take those system together and make a beautiful paragraph. And it is important. It is very, very important, I would say.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, what are the next questions?
Yes, please state your CV, whatever you have done, whether hospital internship, whether you think at that point in time it is relevant or not relevant. You never know, the interviewer might like it, right? So whether it's an internship in a hospital, please put it in your CV, okay?
Okay.
Yes, please add poster presentation skills in your CV if you have.
Okay, I think freshers wala we are already done. Freshers for okay. Any tips for freshers for an interview? Okay.
Yes,
We have-
give your best shot, I would say. I mean, but read about the job description. Okay, just match your CV and your job description.
And how to boost your confidence as a fresher? That's a nice question, Dilna.
Yeah, it's a nice question, Nilna. So, how to boost your confidence? Few things that I do. थोड़ा philosophical है, but Dr. Ajit, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
like
yes, please
just
go ahead.
few self-affirmation things. You are not less than anybody. Every person started somewhere. You know, one experience I would like to share. 6 years back, I gave my presentation in OPPI conference, Dr. Ajit, and I had the first presentation, and I was the junior most person in that entire conference room. Okay, everyone from the pharma were all the big shots, but I stood there, I took the stage, and I gave the presentation. Okay, so never ever underestimate yourself. Apart from that, of course, I watch certain motivational videos. I follow nowadays Jay Shetty's wife, and Ranveer Alabadia. So these are the things that I follow these people, and some of the motivation stuff, and some of the, if it's a very important day, there are certain songs which we all have which motivate us or boost us. So sometimes I fall back on that also. But the best part is it is you yourself who can boost your own confidence. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, I am not less than anyone, and go ahead.
Exactly.
MBA after completion of BPharm. Yes, please.
It's a good idea.
See, as I said, Dr. Ajit, I have my exams ongoing.
Yes. True. Good. So, any other questions, guys? I feel eye contact is really, something which can, give you a good confidence while, an interview or anything, eye contact.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
You should not
And
lose
switching
eye
on your camera. And switching on your, do not shy away from switching your camera.
Exactly.
Yeah. So last year what happened, Dr. Ajit, from my experience, so I also lead a team. So क्या होता था ना, last year team used to say we are not ready and आज camera नहीं on करते हैं. But in 2021, I made a resolution for my entire team and myself. Most of the calls that we have should be with the camera on.
Yes, exactly.
Right. We don't know for how much time we'll be working from home. When the offices will open, we have no clue. Right. So we have to connect with the camera on.
Yes.
That's the only way we can connect with each other.
That's great. Yes, true. Okay, so one or two more questions we will take. How to answer question like where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Just think about what are the skills that you want to acquire in next 5 years. Many people say that in 5 years down the line, I'll become a manager. Don't use these kind of answers, right? You never know. Maybe after 5 years, you can become a VP. You might open your own company and you can become a CEO. Why are you underestimating or limiting yourself by saying you'll be a manager? Just say like, I want to create a kind of disruption, let's say in the health economics world. I want to interact with more and more students. I want to impart the knowledge that I have. So this is something that I am answering from my point of view. Okay. So instead of, do not limit yourself to a designation or a package.
Right.
Never say कि 5 years में I want to become a manager with a package of 20 lakhs. Please don't answer like this. Okay, just keep in mind what are the skills that you want to learn and what are the skills that you want to teach others.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
How to properly mention a profile summary? It means the summary that goes in the email or at the top of the CV. Choose the correct word. CV. Okay, say. So okay, I can say okay. For me, I generally write like uh, uh, I have an I have an educational background with masters in pharmacy and pharmacology, and with 14 years of experience in the health economics and outcomes research space. And the kind of specializations that I have, like I'm specialized in systematic reviews, meta-analysis, maybe pharmacoeconomic modeling or publication writing. At my level, if I handle some revenue also, then I mentioned that also, that I am responsible for maintaining the profit and loss account as well as team handling. So
Right.
it's in a crux of 2-3 lines of what you do and what are your skills and what is your education background.
Correct.
Okay. CV generally, I would say when I started, it was 2 pages. Now it is 5 pages. But I try to limit not more than 5 pages. So as we grow in the ladder, we have more and more publications added. So generally, not to increase it more than 4 to 5 pages, I would say.
Usually in academics, definitely yes. For the industry, definitely not more than 4 5 pages. But for
Yes.
but
Yes.
for academics, you need to elaborate everything your publications and everything. So it can go up to 100 pages. I have seen.
Okay. Okay. Great.
Yes,
Great.
for academics it is different. Academics you can go up to any number, but for
Mm-hmm.
industry definitely not more than 4 5 pages. Ms. Richa is telling because they don't have much time to go through all the pages. They will look into highlights. That's all.
Very important and very nice question has been asked, Dr. Ajit. Can our vocabulary be an added benefit during interview? Yes, yes. And all of us are not experts. Okay, when I started my career, I never used to speak this way, and I know I still have lots of work to be done. So you are the best judge of yourself. अपने आप से ना, never lie. I have done Google tests on active, passive, conjunctions, prepositions, tenses to improve my language, both vocal as well as written communication skills. Right. So vocabulary is an added advantage, but again, do not use many of the flowery or fancy words. वो
Yes,
technical jargon से ना कुछ नहीं होता,
right,
नहीं होता.
exactly.
Team management and strategic thinking, rather generally it comes with experience, I would say. Okay,
Yeah.
it's said like till the time you don't get your hands dirty, you won't learn it that much. Of course,
Yes.
books and sessions and videos help, but practical experience is something that really polishes you in terms of both team management and strategic thinking.
Yes.
Always try to be in a audience, in a meeting where I am the least intelligent person in the room. I try, because then of course I learn. I have an opportunity every.
Okay, guys. So just a minute break because I think she got some technical problems. She's joining back in a minute. Okay. Yes, she's
Sorry,
back.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. मुंबई में नाइट लाइट नहीं जाती है, but I don't know what happened today. Sorry for this.
No, it's okay. It's totally fine. So we'll take
Yeah,
one or two more questions. One more question.
sure.
Okay, one question I saw about strengths and weaknesses. What to tell about your weakness and strengths when they ask? I mean, what kind
Okay.
of
Please, first of all, of course, please be honest about your strengths and weakness. So it depends on various levels as you grow. So I consider I am a very kind of an emotional person. I understand and have an sensitive situation. Many people might think as a weakness, but I consider it as my strength. Right. So these kinds of questions. If you are impatient and you have the nature of doing things in a hurry, you can mention that as your weakness. So no one will qualify that. Right. So these are the kind of honest and practical answers. Everyone want to listen from you. Okay.
yes, true.
Any other question, Dr. Ajit, we have?
Um, no, I think now it's done. Questions are not there. Okay. Okay. How to answer the question? Introduce yourself. How to start it in the interview? Okay, this is, I think we have covered already.
Your name, your educational background, your numbers of years of experience you do, and please mention in the end, like in your free time, what do you do? Please add that because that completely defines you. Even if you like binge watching a series, also you can say that, right? So yeah. So if you want like watching Big Bang Theory or I mean recently what came? Family Man came, right? Family Man season 2.
That,
If you
that's
like
that,
watching
that that's my hobby to binge watch sometimes when we don't have time.
no, but it's a kind of a stress buster, Dr. Ajit.
Yes, true.
Yep. Mhm. Any other
Okay,
questions we
so
have?
no questions, ma'am. No questions. Thank you very much. So yes, thank you. Okay, so now on the comments. Okay, guys. So thank you very much for joining, and thank you, Miss Richa, for joining us and for such an insightful session. And I think we have learned a
My
lot.
pleasure. My
Yes.
pleasure. My pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you.
coming again on a Sunday evening. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank
Bye
you very
bye.
much.
Take
Bye
care. Bye
bye.
bye.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.